RVBN, the Rich Video Blog Network, home to weekly NFL predictions, great personality profile, sports video blogs, professional wrestling video blogs, entertainment video blogs, MBTA video blogs, and a lot of good stuff. Check it out. Going back to June of 2014 on Facebook and YouTube, RVBN, Billerica, Massachusetts. Good afternoon, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Google+. This is Rich again, back for your second video blog of the day for Monday, December 26, 2016. Around 4:57 in the afternoon in Billerica, Massachusetts. It was a sunny day out. Reasonable temperatures for this time of the year, 37, 38 degrees. Tonight, it's going to have some rain showers and it's going to boost up to the 50s. Wow. But then it's going to go back down again. Thursday could be very, very interesting. Could be a nor'easter. Rain at the coast. Snow well north and west. Could be significant. But it's 3 days away. Anything could change. Some news to report on the RVBN Newswire. The Pittsburgh Penguins signed head coach Mike Sullivan to a contract extension to the year 2020. Sullivan led the Penguins to Stanley Cup championship last year, so he deserves it. Also, Sam Champion, who was one of the top weathermen for the Weather Channel, abruptly quit. The Weather Channel was like reducing his role. He hosted America's Weather HQ for a while, but he got dropped from there and he's been seen less on the Weather Channel. There was a rumor he wanted to return to ABC's Good Morning America last year, but that was shot down. Hopefully he'll be on something soon, because he's a good weatherman. And that's about it on news from the RVBN Newswire. Be back in a flash with my second video blog subject of the day. Get out. You're so sweet, 'cause they're cute. The more, the merrier. Malfunction at the junction. He shoots, he scores. Oh my. Yes, sir. Took a chance and it paid off. Would you sign in, please? I'm doing good. Want to put a wager on that, Richie? Great quotes only on RVBN. The time is now 4:59 in the afternoon in Billerica, Massachusetts. Good afternoon. I'm back. My second video blog subject of the day is about the former sports show, a George Michael Sports Machine. The George Michael Sports Machine was a syndicated sports show that lasted from 1984 through March of 2007. And it was hosted by George Michael, and it came from Washington, D.C., on the NBC affiliate WRC Channel 4. Background on George Michael Sports Machine: it started as George Michael's sports final on the Washington NBC station WRC Channel 4, and was Sunday nights, and George would have like highlights of all the sports from the Washington, D.C. area, plus he added high school sports highlights and other highlights, and it was the highest rated sports show in America locally on Sunday nights. And George wanted this thing to be, syndicated throughout the United States. In 1984, he signed a deal to syndicate it through the NBC owned and operated stations in LA and New York and a couple of other NBC owned and operated affiliates. And it became like a highlights show with the top sports plays of the day on Sundays and other stuff like that. And it got real high ratings in those markets. And by 1985, most television stations signed up to show the George Michael Sports Machine in the local markets. It was distributed by Group Westinghouse. I remember one time WBZ Channel 4 had it on for a while. Then WHLL Channel 27. Then it went back to WBZ Channel 4 in the 1990s. And when George Michael Sports Machine went national, they showed highlights of the greatest sports plays of the day on Sundays for Major League Baseball, NFL, NBA. Plus, George Michael Sports Machine devoted a lot of time to sports that did not get any highlights on the national shows for ESPN's Sports Center and CNN Sports Night, which was the big highlight shows in the 1980s, like professional wrestling, auto racing, bowling, mini golf, NHL hockey, lacrosse, volleyball, and softball, among others. And also, the George Michael Sports Machine did not have any criticism or banter about any of the sports. It was just basically a sports highlight show. And at the time, in the 1980s, the only time you would see sports highlights was on ESPN and CSN Sports Tonight and your local newscast. But the downfall of George Michael Sports Machine was in the 1990s, when a lot of cable networks were forming, like ESPN News, CNN SI, Fox Sports News, plus many of the regional sports networks, and eventually the specialty channels for sports like NBA TV, NHL Network, NFL Network. And it kind of rendered the sports machine useless. And it usually the times that the George Michael Sports Machine aired was on mainly 11:30 Sunday night. Sometimes it would show midnight on some markets, but some of the local stations that carried George Michael Sports Machine had their own sports shows on Sunday, and that hurt the ratings big time. In 2004, George Michael got a new co-host. It was Lindsay Zaniak, who worked for the local NBC affiliate in Washington, D.C., WRC, Channel 4, and she and George made a good team. But the death knell of the Sports Machine was in 2006, when NBC got Sunday Night Football. Many of the stations that carried the George Michael Sports Machine were either NBC affiliates, and it put George Michael Sports Machine to maybe 2-3 in the morning. And plus, the NBC owned and operated stations were cutting back on local sports departments. So George decided that he was going to axe the Sports Machine in order to save the sports department of WRC. He took an early retirement, and on March 25th, 2007, the last George Michael Sports Machine aired in syndication. And it was a great show for its time, because of all the highlights and stuff, and also showing a lot of niche sports. And this is when the time that the sports highlights ruled sports television. Now it's basically debates and stuff like that. I saw the George Michael Sports Machine a few times. It was a pretty good show for its time. And that's about it on George Michael Sports Machine. I'll be back later. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Google Plus with the third and final video blog of the night, which will be about my first in a series of reviewing Madison Square Garden house shows for the WWE from 1983 through 1992. The first one will be December 26, 1983. 33 years ago today, when the Iron Sheik beat Bob Backlund for the WWE title, when Arno Skoland threw in the towel. Keep count, everybody. I'm Julie Guy. Molly Osblood of WCCO accent has nice legs. Elizabeth Hutt, so stunning. She's the best. Amy Squeezy's awesome. Awesome Amy. Linda Church of WPIX Channel 11 New York. Such a rocking cougars. Got the best legs in New York City by none. Bobby Gibbs of ABC 11 has a sweet southern accent. And Amy Dumas, aka Lita, is hot. And that's about it on that. Bye now.